We ended the last lesson by looking at each of the 6 IMC components, and we ended with the thought or the question, how would all of this work in a real situation? How does a company effectively integrate multiple marketing communications components? So let's look at a real-life example to see if we can make sense of this a bit more. And to do so, let's look at Southwest Airlines.
Southwest Airlines last year developed a campaign that has been referred to as their Winglets campaign. Now, do you happen to know by any chance what a winglet is? Probably not, and if you're thinking it has something to do with something you order at your favorite chicken wings restaurant, you would be wrong. So let's look at one of their commercials just to see what winglets are all about.
See those things out there at the end of the wings? They're called winglets. Winglets may not look like a big deal, but those little doohickeys save about 54 million gallons of fuel a year. You know what that means? $69 airfares. Thank you, little doohickeys. Southwest Airlines is offering flights as low as $69 one way to select nonstop destinations. If it matters to you, it matters to us. Book now online only at southwest.com.
Thanks to Southwest Airlines and their commercial, we know what a winglet is. And what we've done is we've looked and we've seen a commercial that delivered a message on behalf of Southwest to the public. It explained what winglets are and how it benefits the consumer. It's an example of an advertising message. So that is an example of advertising being used by Southwest Airlines. Now, if you've been paying attention to what I've said so far, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, that's really good, Dr. V, but that's just advertising. So you're clearly not showing us integrated marketing communications because advertising is only one element. This is not an integrated marketing campaign. And if you were to say that, you would absolutely be right. But I'm not finished. In fact, I'm just getting started. At the same time that Southwest ran that commercial, they also issued a press release. And in the press release, it provided some of the same information, but it also provided additional information about winglets, about the cost savings, and about how this translates to lower airfares. So here we have an example of both an advertising message, as we saw in the previous example of the commercial, and a public relations message. So now we have a marketing communications campaign that's relied on 2 different marketing communications elements, advertising and public relations. And it's been created in a coordinated and integrated fashion. Well, we're not finished yet. So buckle up your seatbelts because there's still more to come. Now, if we look at the screen, you can see that the company also took advantage of Pinterest. And they were pretty creative in incorporating this whole winglets idea and winglets theme while encouraging Southwest travelers to kind of get on the winglets bandwagon, if you will. And you've got different pictures on their Pinterest page, particularly focusing on winglets. Some posted by Southwest Airlines themselves, others posted by some of their passengers or customers or clients. The point of this is that in addition to having advertising, public relations as part of this integrated marketing communications campaign, they also had interactive marketing. So it's an example of how to incorporate interactive marketing effectively as well. Let's look at one more element and how it could be incorporated into this campaign before we wrap things up and bring the first class in for a smooth landing. Sorry, I couldn't resist, guys. Okay, so this last example that we're going to look at was actually not part of the Southwest campaign. It's basically my idea of one more thing the company could have done. And in doing this, I do it just to kind of give you a broader perspective of how you could integrate yet even one more component of the promotional mix into this campaign. And here you just have a picture of a little model Southwest Airlines plane. And as you can see, this particular little toy model prominently features those winglets at the end of the wings. So this is certainly something that could have been used by Southwest as a little giveaway to child travelers or giveaways at a trade show that's trying to promote Southwest and use this as one element of it. And so this would be an example of a giveaway that could be used at different places for different functions. Again, though, reinforcing that marketing message of winglets and how that benefits customers. So you put all of those together, and we now see an example of how different types of marketing communications channels can be coordinated and integrated to deliver similar messages that complete and reinforce each other. That is IMC, or Integrated Marketing Communications, and that will be our focus for the rest of the month. Keep in mind, as we talked about this, we did not talk about using television or computers or radio or newspaper. Those are media, but they are not marketing communications components.